What's up, guys? Charles Mabe here. This video is for, I don't know your real name, but it's sleepy.v on Instagram. Sleepy, that's what I'm going to call you because that's what your name is on there. Hit me up with a question about his dreads. Wanted to know what he could do to keep the roots tighter. He had his hair twist and rip method and braided, I believe, and then crocheted to form the dread. The braiding thing I've never really experienced, so I can't really talk much on that. As long as they're holding, though, I mean, why not, you know? But as far as keeping the roots clean and tidy, once again, people are going to hate this. Not people. Some people hate it because they don't know what they're talking about, but that's fine. That's fine. White Claw, by the way. I recommend the root rub method with a hat. Like a hat method is the way to go. It's all about sectioning your dreads, and if you want to put rubber bands in, you can. If you don't want to leave them in, that's fine too. But I find that at least starting off with rubber bands to section the hair really helps to figure out where you want your dreads to, which sections you want your dreads to be in, and then from there you can either, do root. Basically, here's what I would say. Let me start from the beginning again. Okay, I would say this: take the dreads and rubber band them all. That way you get all the flyaways, everything tucked into each dread, and kind of section everything out so you can see how you want to form your dreads and how big you want the dreads to be. You already have dreads, but I can see you showed me some photos how they hadn't been touched up in a while, and they're looking all frizzy and whatnot, and like new growth and stuff. Totally get that. That happens. The new dreads, so I mean that's gonna happen anyway. It happens to my dreads, so it's not that big of a deal. But here's what I would do. I would definitely section them all off first and get them all figured out where you want them to be. So like they're kind of sectioned, somewhat like this. You don't have to keep them like this, whatever. Once they're sectioned, take off the rubber band in the front. Or start wherever you want, I guess. Doesn't really matter. Start where you want, and then start doing the root rub method on that dread. That way, you can leave the rest of them still tied up or not, or rubber band up, and you can kind of go through and work that one out. Once that dread starts to form, and you'll kind of get an idea of how it starts to work. Sometimes you got to go clockwise, sometimes you have to go counterclockwise. But you just grab the dread kind of like this at the root with the hat. You just go like that. And first off, don't push hard because you don't want to hurt your head. You don't want to give yourself a rug burn. You want to cause any issues. So you go light enough and you squeeze it. And as you're going, you're going to notice, you're going to start feeling in your fingers that a knot is forming. So then let go of that and, kind of grab a different spot and kind of go the same way and group it back up again. Maybe turn your hand a little bit and do the same thing. And then rubber band it again if you want rubber bands on. If you don't do it. It's fine. It's your hair. Do what you want. And then go along and do that with all of your dreads. Now, it's going to take a while, obviously. It takes a little bit of time, and your arm's going to get tired. But in the long run, I feel it's worth it. I'm not a big fan of crocheting. I've never crocheted my dreads. I've never done any of the other weird things that people do with their dreads. No baking soda, no apple cider vinegar. Use Suave, cheap shampoos, and just do the basic stuff that I do. It's a hat method, rubber bands, shampoo. Until I decide to set them on fire here in a couple days, we're gonna do a video on burning dreads, but why not? But yeah, I mean, also like your dreads are new, so like your dreads are going to be a little frizzy at times because they're new. But the root is definitely one of the easiest things, in my opinion, to keep tight and clean up. Like with like this, it's not hard. You get some frizz along here. You can see it. There's a little bit of frizz. You'll get a little bit of frizz along your dreads. I found this to be more challenging to get rid of than the frizz and the new growth in my roots because I just use the hat method and a rubber band it and it's like boom and then it just grows out. It literally if you look this closely, look, you can see here it's rubber banded. It's not super tight. I just redid these the other day, but a little loose there. But then look at that. I mean, it's just like a nice tight dread. So people that say like, oh, rubber bands don't work, well, you're wrong. But that's what I would recommend, man. I'm just like, it's not that big of a deal. Overall, I felt like your dreads looked good. The part that's grown out looks fine. It's just the roots looked a little rough, but that's an easy fix, man. Use a hat, tighten it up, rubber band it, you're good to go. And if you have any flyaways on this part of the dread, most definitely just palm roll it. It'll clean it up quite a bit. If you want to, you can use a little bit of wax. I don't really recommend wax, but if you can find a wax that's like shea butter, real beeswax, not petroleum products, it doesn't hurt to use a little bit of wax. I know people are freaking out like, oh my God, don't use wax, build up and blah, 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 blah. it's not really that big of a deal, because here's the thing. If you're using something, the only ones that don't work that well are ones that have petroleum products in it, because it's really greasy and it's just kind of sticky and it doesn't really work that well. With real beeswax and a little bit of shea butter, and there's something else that I had put in mine a long time ago. I forget what it was. Beeswax, shea butter, something else. It's a little bit of that. A little bit goes a long way. And if it's like, say you have, a dance coming up or a wedding or whatever it is, and you want to look good, a birthday, something, a little bit of wax isn't going to hurt. So you can rub a little bit of that in there if you want to, and then wash it out. Because petroleum products, the oil in that is hard to wash out, and it melts in your hair and it's gross. With real beeswax, hot water, it comes out for the most part. There's no real big deal. Like, you wash your hair, it comes out. So if that was a concern of yours, you're like, oh, it's a little frizzy down here, and you don't want to palm roll it, use a little bit of wax. It's fine. I'm not saying gloop a bunch up on your top of your head and in your roots. Like, that's probably not the best idea. But a little bit of wax just to tame the frizz, not gonna hurt you. I used wax in the very beginning, and I still occasionally use wax if I'm lazy and I have somewhere to be, and I've been I've been putting it off for a week or two, and I'm like, hey, what? I don't feel like doing my dreads right now, and then I'm like, well, shit, I have this thing going on tonight. I have to have my dreads looking tight. There's gonna be photos, because everyone takes photos now because of social media. You gotta know about the photos. So yeah, I'll throw a little wax in there from time to time. It's fine. It washes out, and it's like, oh, it's gonna cause buildup. Your hair is gonna fall out. I don't buy it. So yeah, man, I think that's your best option, is just to root rub with a hat on your roots, rubber band it up if you want to. Rubber bands, obviously, keep it a little cleaner, as you can see here. And then, they'll grow out, and it's fine, whatever. You can put them back in, don't put them back in. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you want to do, it's your hair. But that's my best answer, man. Hope that helps. See you guys.